Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Darrell Owens, and this is another edition of One on One here on the Legacy Maker Sports Network, and of course, airing on the amazing Bowie Television. We got a good show for you today. We're at the end of the regular season. We got our final power rankings of the regular season. We got to talk the NFL playoffs coming up this weekend. It's kind of a lot going on, but we're going to get into all of that here on episode 156 of One on One Wild Card Weekend Edition. This is going to be a fun one. Let's get the party started.
One. Welcome to the one-on-one. When it comes to ratings, man, we number one. I get the truth, then I give them the scoop. If anybody got a question, I give them the proof. Welcome to the one-on-one. When it comes to ratings, man, we number one. I get the truth, then I give them the scoop. If anybody got a question, I give them the proof. Welcome to one-on-one at Legacy Maker Sports Network.
What's up, everybody? We're here for another episode of One on One here on the Legacy Maker Sports Network, and of course, airing on the amazing Bowie Television. It was a busy week for your boy. And this has been a fun NFL season, probably the funnest NFL season that I've ever had to cover as a member of the media. It has been a fun one. The Commanders made the playoffs, so that means your boy's heading down to Tampa this week for the wild card game. Just a great year. So first ever playoff game that I get to cover as a member of the media. So NFL game, I'm excited. It's going to be fun. Sunday Night Football in Tampa should be a doozy. Now, with that being said, your boy also went viral again for the second time this season. Now, the first time your boy went viral, can't speak, y'all. First time your boy went viral. The first time your boy went viral, I get the word out eventually, was when we saw Terry McLaurin make that amazing catch during the Cincinnati game on Monday Night Football. Look, like I told y'all then, wasn't trying to go viral. I was just amazed by a great play. All right, and everybody, yeah. But round two, that was week 3 of the season. Now we fast forward to week 18. This time around, your boy tried to have a heart, tried to save a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader that was in the line of a loose, a very determined kickoff that did not go the way Brandon Aubrey wanted it to go. And I just happened to be in the area, and I tried to save this young lady or young ladies because there was 2 in the area. It just didn't go in your favor. So for those who haven't seen it, it's about 21 seconds. It's all from NFL Network and Fox. So yeah, we'll go ahead and take a peek at it. That's right.
That accounts for the 15-yard penalty. Ouch.
Cameraman tried to deflect it.
Hopefully all right, pal. Okay, we saw KP in the shot there too, trying to maneuver.
At least she's smiling. Ouch, those K-balls are no joke. I told you.
You were telling me about the K-balls at the...
You heard him. The cameraman tried to deflect it. I did. And as you can tell, your boy's not athletic anymore. Those days are long behind him. So yeah, that was my that was my weekend. I've been getting phone calls and everything since the moment it happened during the game, and my phone has been on fire all week. So and it probably won't go away until after this playoff game. So you got to get to the playoff game and then don't go viral for these type of reasons when we hit once we hit the playoff game. So we'll see how it goes. But one last time, I'll show it to you one last time, and then we head on to the rest of the show.
That accounts for the 15-yard penalty.
You saw your boy?
Tried to deflect it.
I had a shot at it.
Okay, we saw KP in the shot.
I tried.
There too, trying to maneuver.
At least she's smiling. Ouch, those K-balls are no joke. I told you.
You were telling me about the K-balls at the...
I tried. I tried to save her. The ball, your boy went up, hand reflection, all that fun stuff, but it didn't happen. maybe one day I'll redeem myself. But let's go ahead and get into the power rankings. Let's get into our first one, our final power ranking of the regular season for all 32 teams. And then from now on, we'll do power rankings heading into the playoffs and so on and so on. And so this will definitely be fun. But let's go ahead and get to the bottom and get this party started. All right, at the bottom, very, very bottom, we got the New York Football Giants. Oh boy. For me, this could be Tennessee because Tennessee does have the first pick of the draft. They're 31 on the power ranking. You could make a case for the Browns or any of these teams pretty much from, in my opinion, that you see from 27 to 32 could have had a legit claim to the spot. I thought the Giants showed moments early in the season, just wasn't meant to be. But I had to put them at the very bottom to end the season because of just the way the franchise was ran. You cannot run a franchise that way and expect the franchise to truly prosper the way it was ran. And I think Hard Knocks really gave this Giants team a bad rap, and it really put them in a really bad position. I don't think they realized that this was going to end up being the case, but unfortunately for them, that's what ended up happening. And the Giants, to me, just unfortunately are the bottom of the team, even despite Tennessee having the first pick. And also Tennessee, just another team that's just still trying to figure out. But for me, when you're the Giants, an organization that has won multiple Super Bowls, that has done a lot of great things, it's hard for me to just look past all of that. So with that being said, we got the Giants at 32. At 31, we got the Tennessee Titans. Now, Tennessee is just, they don't know what they're doing at quarterback. They fired their GM, Ron Carthon. I wasn't a big fan of that personally, but like I said, I don't know the insides of that situation. You'd have to hit up Mike Patton, who covers the Titans closely, our man Cortland Sutton, that Cortland would have that, Griffin, my fault, because Sutton, I'm thinking about Denver Broncos receiver, but our man Cortland Griffin, who's definitely got a great insight on the Titans. You would have to reach out to them and kind of get a real insight of what was going on down there. And there was a lot of high hopes. It just wasn't meant to be. At 30, we got the Cleveland Browns, another franchise where there's a lot of questions on who, what, when, where, why, and how it should be and who it should be. It's going to be very interesting to kind of see where this thing ends up and who, kind of just who's going to be, is Deshaun Watson going to be the quarterback next year? Even though they reworked this contract, there's a lot in that. Chubb had dealt with a lot of injuries. Will James Winston be back, who was completely entertaining for this team? They've got a lot to fix. So we'll see what Cleveland does. They're at 30. At 29, the New England Patriots. New England fired their head coach, Gerard Mayo, after one season. And personally, another situation where I feel like the guy only had 1 year to try to get it right. And I think also if they felt like he wasn't the guy from the get-go, you shouldn't have never hired him. No matter how much loyalty you had to Bill Belichick, you should have never hired him if you didn't think he was going to be the guy for this team. Enough said on that. At 28, the Raiders. The Raiders also fired their coach, Antonio Pierce. And, for me, not a complete fan of seeing Pierce, get the axe here, because I felt like, he really didn't have the pieces to help him succeed under the circumstances that he was in. So I just, me personally, I don't like how some of these NFL teams give a short leash to certain styles of coaches. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Yeah, if y'all can read between the lines, you can read between the lines. I just don't like that, and I feel like some of these coaches don't get the love and support that they deserve. For at least a couple of years to try to get it together. Now, you 1 or 2 years and it doesn't work out, by all means, you get rid of them. But if that's not the case, you can't keep doing that. It'll just keep destroying the team. At 27, the Jacksonville Jaguars, who also fired their coach. As you can tell, it was a firing spree. It was a firing spree heading into everything. It's just been a crazy, crazy, crazy road. And Doug Peterson, who's a Super Bowl winning coach, gone out the door. And so that's something that they're going to have to definitely, figure out there in Jacksonville. At 26, the New Orleans Saints. Saints 5-12, fought hard at the end of the season in their last matchup, but that's another team where we don't know what direction they're going to go in. A lot of people saying Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions, could be the next head coach there. He's the lead candidate. And on top of that, he's a former Saint. So a lot of people are excited, a lot of buzz around Aaron Glenn there in New Orleans. At 25, the Chicago Bears got to win against the Packers for the first time since 2018. So the Packers back into the playoffs with 2 straight losses, 2 division losses at that. The Bears finally break their losing streak after losing 10 straight games. They finally get a win against the Packers, so they break 2 streaks in the process. At 24, the Carolina Panthers. Carolina finished exactly where I had them finishing at. I said they would finish 5-12. They did that. They played better. They weren't great, but they played better throughout the season. The beginning part was rough, but they finished off well. So shout out to Bryce Young and the crew. Hopefully they get that thing together. At 23, the New York Jets. This team will be in turmoil in the offseason, trying to figure out what's next for them. That'll be something to see in New York. Will Aaron Rodgers retire? Who's going to be the next head coach? Will it be Rex Ryan? We heard all types of stuff. They still are looking for a GM. So very interesting times for the Jets. Still looking to make their first playoff since 2010. At 22, disappointing team this season, the San Francisco 49ers. Now, San Francisco is this low as they had the season they had, in my opinion, because of injuries. I mean, they were just never healthy throughout the year, not fully healthy. So that's something that they're going to try to have to address in the offseason and see what's next for San Francisco, because not by any means, I don't think this team is out of it. They'll be back strong next season. At 21, the Dallas Cowboys, they finished 7-10, lost to the Commanders. I happen to be there. If you don't remember, I'll show you some of the picks from the game. First of all, here's your boy out here looking too tough for school. Shout out to my man, Brandon Waters, who took this picture of me after the national anthem, sweating like I stole something. And just here's some of the shots that I took for Bowie Television. The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders looking as cool as the other side of the pillow. So it was definitely a good time in Dallas. And thank God I got out of there because the snow was in full effect. And we really didn't know if we were going to get out of there cleanly. All right. So here it is. The power rankings, the bottom. We got the Giants, the Titans, the Browns, the Patriots, Raiders, Jaguars, Saints, Bears, Panthers, Jets, 49ers, and the Dallas Cowboys. So there it is, the bottom. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we get ready for the outside looking in. So outside looking in, got a little handsy on there. Got that top 10 real too fast. So here is the outside looking in. All right, so outside looking in. At 20, we got the Indianapolis Colts. They finished their season 8-9. A lot of things still trying to figure out Indianapolis. A lot of things just didn't go their way they wanted this season. I mean, they still finished with almost a 500 record, but there's a lot going on there. Anthony Richardson is, will his development continue to grow? It just didn't seem like we don't know what their path is, and they seem kind of stagnant right now, but we got them at 20. At 19, the Miami Dolphins. Their biggest problem right now, one, keep Tua healthy. 2, Tyreek Hill doesn't want to be there anymore. That's another big problem. We talking about a guy who's the NFL, probably, he was an MVP candidate last year. Was right there with him. And then this year he has gotten the ball pretty much, his numbers dropped dramatically from what they were last year. So he's upset. He wants to change the scenery, so we'll see what happens there. At 18, the Cardinals, 8-9. This one was surprising me. I didn't see the Cardinals finishing this strong this season, but I think they fought hard. They had the division lead at one point. They just couldn't finish it. So there's a lot to kind of work with there in Arizona. So I think they're on the right path, but we'll see. At 17, the Atlanta Falcons. They may have moved to Penix too late. And I think that's all I'm really going to say about it. They did lose the last 2 games, but they played better football these last 2 weeks and the last couple of weeks, and they really probably should have done it probably 4 or 5 weeks ago, and we could be talking a different tune here, but they just missed the playoffs. At 16, the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati won the last 5 games, had a chance to get in, but the beginning part of the season end up hurting them because they were not able to sneak in because too many scenarios worked against them. So, now they're crying, oh, the Chiefs didn't want us in the playoffs, so they botched the last game of the season. But it's not, look, people have been doing this since I was a kid. So I don't see it as a botch. They're resting their players right before the playoffs to be healthy. People try to compare it to the NBA, not the same. NBA players are doing this way more on a more frequent rate. So I'm not going to sit here and give that some, too much breathing room. But no, the Bengals, you win early in the season, you don't have that problem. At 15, the Seahawks, 10-7. For the first time in NFL history, we have 15 teams win 10 games or more. So that's pretty cool. But the Seahawks were one of those outside looking in teams when it came to the playoffs. They barely missed it. Barely missed it. So they're going to be interested in the offseason to kind of see where they go from there. They fired their offensive coordinator, so there'll be some changes there in Seattle. At 14, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh have lost the last 4 games, and they're going into the playoffs with the worst momentum possible. Now, when I give you my power rankings heading into the playoffs, it might be a little different from what we're seeing here, but this is just based off of where they finished this regular season, and it has not been good. They were 10-3, they were rolling, they had the division lead, and it just fell apart. So Pittsburgh's at 14. At 13, the Houston Texans. This is another team that I don't know. I really don't know what this looks like. And I know that sounds crazy, but I don't know if the team that I thought they were going to be. I thought they would be like 13-4. I thought they'd be cruising. They took a step back this year. They're still going to make the playoffs, but they won a division that has the probably the worst division in football. So. Yeah, that's kind of where that is. And we'll see if they can, change the tone as we head into the playoffs. At 12, we got the Rams. The Rams lost their last game to Seattle, but I felt like, they were resting, Stafford and all that fun stuff. This Rams team is a team I picked to go to the Super Bowl. Couldn't they still prove me wrong or right, I guess you could say? Maybe. But at least they made the playoffs, so I don't look like I was kind of crazy for picking them to go to the Super Bowl. So who knows? But I trust Matt Stafford and I trust Sean McVay, and you just never know. That matchup against Minnesota is going to be a doozy on Monday night. At 11, the Denver Broncos. Yes, the Broncos who've made the playoffs with a rookie quarterback and a pretty young team. A lot of, I guess you can say, some inexperience in different places, but they're in there and they fought hard, and Sean Payton has coached his team well, and they're in the playoffs. They're the 7th seed. Things are looking good, but they're 11th in our final power ranking of the regular season. So here it is, the last outside looking in for the 2024-25 season. We got the Colts, Dolphins, Cardinals, Falcons, Bengals, Seahawks, Steelers, Texans, Rams, and the Denver Broncos. All right, there it is. Now we head into the top 10. Let's go. All right, here it is, top 10. At number 10, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay's been cruising these last couple of weeks. They did what they needed to do. They almost fell in that last game, but they make the playoffs. They'll be hosting the Washington Commanders on Sunday night, the 3 seed versus the 6 seed. Tampa Bay beat Washington earlier in the season in game 1, so we'll see if this full circle moment will be well for the Commanders. I'm excited to do my first ever playoff game. It's going to be a night one. We're going to have fun times there in Tampa. So Tampa Bay's at 10. At 9, the Green Bay Packers, another team that's semi-backing into the playoffs. 2 straight losses in the division. Don't like it. They got a tough matchup against Philly. That should be fun. But the Packers are at 9, and I'm still not 100% confident that they can make any type of run, but we'll see. The Chargers make the playoffs, 11-6. They'll be taking on the Texans. They finished the season with a win over the Raiders, so congratulations to them for making the postseason. At 7, of course, the Commanders with their win over Dallas, a last-minute Terry McLaurin win from Mariota to McLaurin. It was a great game, good energy at Dallas Stadium. I had AT&T Stadium. I had a really good time down in Dallas. At 6, the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens did what they needed to do. They beat Cleveland. They won the division. They will host the Steelers for round 3 this weekend. That'll be fun. And so a heated rivalry in the playoffs. Yeah, it should be good. At number 5, the Vikings. They lost to the Lions in that NFC North championship game. The Lions dominated, winning 31-9. It just seemed like Minnesota couldn't get anything going. A lot of people see Minnesota as frauds. I don't want to completely do them like that, but in the past, when they've had records like this, they've proven that. So we'll see. They got the Rams. At number 4, the Buffalo Bills. They'll be taking on the Broncos in Buffalo. And so that should be fun on Sunday. See what they got going on there. They're at number 4. At number 3, the Philadelphia Eagles. Like I said, they'll be taking on the Packers. Will Jalen Hurts play? That'll be something to look out for as we go into the weekend. At number 2, the Kansas City Chiefs. They can easily be number 1, but that loss in the last week and the Lions kind of going on the streak made my decision to make the Lions the number 1 team for the last time here in the power rankings in the regular season, and the Chiefs at number 2. So there it is. Here is the top 10. We got the Bucks, the Packers, the Chargers, the Commanders, Ravens, Vikings, Bills, Eagles, Chiefs, and number 1 for the last week of the regular season, the Detroit Lions. Well, there it is. Our final power ranking here in the regular season. Like I said, things change up here in the postseason. It'll be a little bit different. So that should be fun. But let's go ahead and wrap up this episode with the finale. First thing we're going to talk about in the finale are Kings of the Gridiron, the last one for the season. Kings of the Gridiron. On the offensive side, Bo Nix helping lead his team into the playoffs, 26 for 29, 321 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks, 152.4 QBR rating, and a 38-0 win over Kansas City. Just a great performance by Bo Nix. And if I'm Buffalo, be careful. That's all I'm going to say. And on the defensive King of the Gridiron, we got Trey Hendrickson, 5 tackles, 3.5 sacks, and a 19-17 win over Pittsburgh, solidifying him with the sack kingship this year. So congratulations to him. Second time this season that Trey Hendrickson was our King of the Gridiron. Now, swinging over to my top 5 MVP candidates, I got Allen at 1, Lamar at 2, Saquon at 3, Goff at 4, and Darnold. I feel pretty strong about this right now. This is where I believe it sits. I think Saquon could have got a little bit higher if he played in that last game and broke the record, but I think this is Josh Allen's war to a win. Then your boys found on regular season record for third straight year, or this is my second straight year of having a good record or improving on the record. I think a couple years ago I went 161, 08, and 2. Last year I went 168 and 101. 104. This year I go 171 and 104. So your boys getting there. Next year we're going to try to break 180. We'll go for 200 next year, but we shall see. Then in our Pick'em Championship, congratulations to Joey becoming this year's NFL Experts Pick'em League champion, beating Cody 12-10. So shout out to Joey, who will be our champion heading into next season. He kept telling me, he said, Darrell, I'm not even trying. Yeah, okay, buddy. Congratulations. You are our champion. Now, my power ranking. This is my power ranking heading into the playoff weekend. Now, at number 1, I got Kansas City. Obviously different than what we had on our regular season power ranking in it. But when the Chiefs are the Chiefs and you're the 2-time defending champions and you're looking for 3, it's hard for me to not have them at number 1. At number 2, the Detroit Lions. Could have put them at 1, but like I said, they still got some things to prove. But I got them at 2. The Lions are going to be dangerous. At 3, the Buffalo Bills. Outside of those 2 teams ahead of them, I think the Buffalo Bills and the number 14, the Ravens, have the strongest chance to win a Super Bowl. But it's going to be tough for both the Bills and the Ravens to get past Kansas City. And if one of those teams beat Kansas City, that team going to Super Bowl. That's just how I feel about that. But Buffalo at 3, Ravens at 4. At 5, the Eagles. The Eagles could be that team that make a run in the NFC. To me, the NFC is wide open. Yes, the Lions are the favorite by far, but I still think it's wide open. It doesn't seem as, oh yeah, that's an easy one for this. I don't see that in the NFC. But the Eagles are number 5, and they got a tough matchup against the Packers this week, and so we'll see if the Eagles can move on there. At 6, we got the Minnesota Vikings. Great record, but can they do it in the playoffs? That's going to be the biggest thing for Minnesota. At 7, the Commanders, 12-5 on the year. Great team offensively at times. Defensively, they've had some good moments, but can they put it all together for 60 minutes, especially against a very tough Tampa Bay team? They're at 7. At 8, the Green Bay Packers, youngest team in football, makes the playoffs for the second straight year. Problem is, are they too young? We'll see. At 9, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, probably one of the most dangerous teams in this wild card, so watch out for them. At 10, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this is mostly because of Russell Wilson. He's got the experience. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. And if they figure it out, I think they could, they have a shot to beat the Ravens. If anybody can beat the Ravens, the Steelers are one of those teams that know them too well that could win. The Texans, we got them at 11. I just need to see them figure it out. If they can, spark some of the magic from last year. At 12, I got the Chargers. Not really expecting anything from the Chargers, but they could win that game against the Texans. So watch out for that. We got the Rams at 13. They got Matt Stafford, so I'll never put anything past him. And last but not least, I got the Broncos. But like I say, it's just because of the experience that they have on the team compared to other teams. So with that being said, let's go to our matchups for the weekend. Matchups for the weekend, you'll see the Bills take on the Broncos on Sunday at 1 p.m. on CBS. You'll see the Ravens take on the Steelers on Saturday night on Amazon Prime. The game right before then, you'll see the number 4 seed Texans take on the Chargers on CBS. Then we swing to the NFC side. You got the Packers taking on the Eagles Sunday at 4:30 p.m. You got the game that I'm going to be at, and cold outside, 56 degrees. You got Tampa Bay versus the Commanders on the Sunday night game on NBC. And for our Monday night football game in the playoffs this year, we've got the Rams and the Vikings, 8 p.m. on ABC/ESPN. All right, here are my winners for the weekend. And I hope I'm wrong about that Eagles one, but here's my winners for the weekend. Hoping to go 5-1 this weekend. I got the Ravens, the Chargers, the Bills, the Vikings, the Eagles, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm also hoping actually I'm 4-2, but we'll see how that goes. That Tampa Bay Commanders game could go anyway. All right, everybody, that's it. That is it for this latest episode of 101 here on the Legacy Maker Sports Network, and of course airing on the amazing Bowie Television. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in for another great episode, or at least another fun episode for me. I hope it was great for you. And I really can't wait to see what happens in the playoffs this weekend. I'll be hitting the road early on Sunday to go to Tampa and see if the Commanders can pull it off, see if they can get the dub in Tampa Bay and move on to that next round. But we will see. They're very confident. It's going to be a fun playoffs, and I'm just sad that NFL is almost over and we got to wait another 6 months. I'm a little sad about that. But all right, everybody, thank you all for tuning in to episode 156 of 101. We'll be back next Thursday for episode 157 of 101 and get you ready for the divisional playoff. Until next time. Oh, one more time. And I got to say this. Your boy gave his best effort, and I want y'all to watch carefully, and you see how I glad trying to catch this football. Y'all gotta understand, man. I did the best I could. One last time before we get out of here.
That accounts for the 15-yard.
Look at your boy. Look, I almost had it. Look at your boy.
Cameraman tried to deflect it.
Hopefully, all right, pal.
Cameraman tried to
KP in the shot there too, trying to maneuver.
At least she's smiling.
One. Welcome to the 101. When it comes to ratings, man, we number one. I get the truth, then I give them the scoop. If anybody got a question, I give them the proof.